seed in the Midwest. Arkansas about to challenge the #3 seed Michigan. Billy Packer, this place just buzzing with excitement right now.
Well, it really is, Jim. Two of the premier teams in the United States. I mean, this is really the marquee of the regionals right now as far as the matchup and anticipation among these two clubs.
Well, you got to love the matchup inside. Corliss Williamson, the SEC Player of the Year, has really been something else this season for Arkansas.
Well, Jimmy, it all starts inside with both of these clubs. Williamson is so powerful on the inside. He's got the Charles Barkley body. Great elevation inside. It's a very soft touch. One of the premier inside players in the country. And you'll watch him right here when people wonder, is he quick and can he get off the ground? Here's a beautifully executed lob pass in the Tulsa game. His low point in the tournament so far, 21 points.
But Juwan Howard of Michigan in the NCAA's spectacular. Almost 30 points a game, Billy, in the 3 games.
He has been spectacular, and here you see him making a shot in the Maryland game, but what he did in the Maryland game is what he does so well on the other end of the floor. Incredible defense against Joe Smith. He's the best post defender in the United States and has been for 2 years. He's a young man with great leadership, and you see him point to his head right there. I think he's one of the best thinkers in college basketball as well.
All right, Billy, Michigan and Arkansas coming up in just a few minutes. Right now, we send you back to Pat O'Brien.
All right, Jim, thank you. Billy, thank you. 4 o'clock is that tip time. While we're enjoying basketball here, we can't escape the realities of the real world. So the United States is in the house. So are Michigan and Arkansas, about 10 minutes away from the final piece of the puzzle. Hi, everybody. I'm Pat O'Brien here in New York City, and the winner of that game will go on to play the Arizona Wildcats, who is coached by this man right here, Lute Olson, who it's raining.
Michigan to win, I'm going to go with my heart as well as my head. If they can really prohibit Arkansas from getting big runs, offensive runs during the game, Michigan is one of the best teams in the country at playing in close games.
Arkansas. The president does not rattle Arkansas. They're victorious. Best transition game in college basketball, superbly coached by Nolan Richardson.
All right, 40 minutes of hell is not the case. All right, let's go over to Pat.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Arkansas and Michigan, the final piece of the puzzle coming up here on CBS. Enjoy the game and enjoy your afternoon here on CBS. Thank you.
Yeah, but the Achieva Special Edition from Oldsmobile's got some pretty...
Going to be one of the great scenes in college basketball this season. The final piece to the puzzle, Dallas, Texas Reunion Arena. The Midwest final. Already Duke, Florida, and Arizona are making plans for Charlotte. One more spot available. Michigan, the 3 seed, against the #1 seed, Arkansas. Sold out Reunion Arena. The first family has arrived. Welcome, everybody. I'm Jim Nance, along with Billy Packer. There is a special excitement in the air here, Billy. How about this game we're about to see?
Jim, one of the things I think we're going to see today is which coach goes for the matchup the soonest. In regard to Nolan Richardson against Tulsa, he changed his starting lineup. He's so deep with his club, he can do so many things. The key for Michigan today, I think, is going to be Jalen Rose. We talked about the big men inside. Michigan has turned the ball over 57 times so far in their 3 tournament games. They've got to have the ball in Jalen's hands, and he's got to step up and prove that he's one of the premier performers in college basketball if Michigan's got a chance.
I think he relishes this role today, Jalen Rose. We spoke to the 2 coaches, Steve Fisher and Nolan Richardson, got their outlook on this game.
We got to make it more than a layup line. We cannot give them transition basket after transition basket, and they're good at it. They run the floor harder than any team I have seen.
The biggest key is that you can't afford to let Howard get going, and Jalen Rose, I mean, and Jimmy King. They've got some very, very good basketball players, and seems to me that watching them play, they play according to the talent level that they're playing against.
All right, Jim Gray will be reporting with us today. Let's bring him in right now. Jimmy?
All right, thank you very much, Jim. Steve Fisher told his team before the game that they absolutely cannot have any of the mental lapses that they have had in their first 3 tournament games. He said, one mental lapse like this against Arkansas, and guys, we'll be done. You can forget the Final Four. Now, their other strategy today is going to be to try and stop Corliss Williamson. Look for a lot of hard fouls by the Michigan guys early to try and keep him away from the basket as he's shooting 76% in this tournament. Jim?
Let's check the starting lineups. Michigan with 4 juniors and a sophomore. Jackson, Howard, King, and Rose. I like to say the Fab Four plus Fife. Dugan Fife, who has started all the games this season, had a good performance in a win against Maryland on Friday. Meanwhile, Arkansas with Corliss Williamson, 8 straight games with at least 20 points. Stewart, Robinson, Beck, and Thurman. That's 2 sophomores, 2 juniors, and a freshman. The officials today, Jim Berg, John Hughes, David Libby. And we're underway for the final ticket to Charlotte. The Razorbacks on the attack first.
And Jim, watch number 34 in the low post, guarded by 25. That's going to be some battle.
Power matchup inside. And here they go underneath. Beck misses the layup, and Howard with the rebound. He's pulling down about 13 rebounds a game in the NCAAs.
I'm surprised to see Michigan double down on Robinson, because that's going to leave somebody wide open.
Jimmy King off the mark. Williamson so strong with the rebound for the Hogs.
Even though Ray Jackson's given up a bunch of size in there, I think they have to prove first that Robinson can score on him.
Stewart splitting the defenders and drawing the foul. Foul is on Jimmy King.
Juwan Howard is first.
We're going to call it now on Howard. They call it on Juwan Howard.
That's a tough call for Michigan on Howard. Howard has fouled out of 2 games so far in the NCAA tournament. They can ill afford to have him in trouble, particularly for a reach-in call like that, because he's going to have to pick up some big bumping fouls on Williamson.
Stewart at the line for 2, 68% shooter, which is surprisingly low because he can really fire it from the outside.
You know, Jim, I wonder why he doesn't stand back farther, get back on the line.
He's 8 out of 10.
You know, you can move back. He could almost get in the three-point line. I think he'd feel more comfortable there.
No, he's made 8 out of 10 threes in this tournament. 1 out of 2 at the line for the game's first point.
Jimmy King's got to put the ball on the floor. He's got Stewart on him, has an advantage from a quickness standpoint. There he is. There's a matchup that Michigan's got in their favor. King has been rather passive so far with the ball.
Rose guarded by the freshman Robinson. Under 10 on the shot clock. And it's called against Howard, his second.
You could be talking ball game here, Jim, and I realize we've only had 1 minute and 16 seconds go by. But Michigan cannot go to its bench with anything that resembles the bench that Arkansas has. I said that Juwan would pick up some hard fouls. He can't afford to touch one. That's 2 right away. See if Arkansas goes inside right now to Williamson.
They're tough in this building. That was Corey Beck drawing the charge. He's a specialist at that. Stewart off the mark. And Jackson with the rebound, uncontested.
See, Stewart having trouble on the perimeter today because Jalen Rose at 6'8" can get a hand in his face out there.
Fife trapped. Fife has it stripped. Beck has drawn a charge and now gotten a steal. Thurman pull up 3. Still 1-0 Arkansas.
Michigan not wanting to get in a run-shoot game with this ball club.
And they trap King, but they call Arkansas's Beck for the foul.
Corey Beck, his first personal foul, team foul number 1.
Arkansas over 60%. That's a tournament record at this pace. In fact, 66% against Tulsa, their best of the season on Friday night.
Right, that beat North Carolina's all-time 3-game record. So they can sit on that one. And here's Arkansas going to a 2-3 zone.
Howard, nice move.
Use the rim to ward off Robinson. And so far, Corliss Williamson hadn't been able to get the ball down low.
Almost stolen by King.
Jim, we talked about Steve Fisher. How about the confidence he has in Juwan Howard? And we talked about how smart Juwan is. But here he gets 2 fouls in the first minute and 16. He's got him out there still.
I would expect they try to dump it off here in a hurry to Williamson. Here it is. Try to get that third. Robinson slicing through the lane, and Arkansas in 3 minutes has not scored from the field. Jackson wildly puts it in behind the head.
So Jackson, King, Howard, and Rose have all scored in double figures. All 4 of those starters in double figures in every NCAA game.
Boy, here's a foul call away from the ball. And it's Jalen Rose.
He was trying to stop Stewart going inside. There's the hit to the side. Gray puts the ball on the floor, beats Beck, who's a great defender, and just throws this one up as a prayer over his shoulder. Gets it to roll. There's the double down.
Over Howard. Arkansas has missed its first 5 shots.
I haven't seen a college team yet adjust really well to what Michigan does defensively with those double downs inside. Maryland didn't do it the other night. Nice pass.
Howard cashes in for the 2nd time. Yeah, they really rattled the nation's best freshman, Joe Smith, by doubling down low on him Friday night. Now Thurman coming through, partially blocked by Fife.
Well, you've got 2 Texan starters out here for Michigan, and King and Jackson basically playing for the home folk.
King, oh, that would have been some move there. Had it dropped. Yeah, they have another Texan on the bench, Robbie Crawford.
There's the double down.
Williamson with the move. Howard really couldn't challenge him with the 2 fouls, so Arkansas has its first basket.
Exactly, Jim. He had to give up the baseline.
Jackson. Man loves to play in the NCAA tournament. He saves his best for March.
There was a warning to Juwan Howard to leave the ball alone after it goes through. Let's see if the referee warned both teams technical on the next play.
Little move by Michigan to allow him time to get back.
Yep.
Thurman 3. Man in his face. Fife was all over him.
Jim, there was the double down by Fife on Robinson. Not a good idea for Michigan to do that because he can't get back to guys like Thurman who can pump that 3.
Robinson called for his first. There's a timeout on the floor. 2-point lead, Wolverines.
Here's what I'm talking about, low post defense and doubling down by Michigan. Now here's Fife. He'll come all the way across the lane to help out on defense. But look at what happens. Scotty Thurman's going to be wide open. The ball then will be swung to the outside. Fife cannot get back to his man. We've got ourselves a basket. There it is, the double team. No opportunity on the swing. Fife can get all the way back. Thurman hits. I think Fife is going to have to stay at home when the ball goes to Robinson.
8-6, Michigan leads.
And there's that 2-3 matchup that was used so effectively against Tulsa the other night.
Fife has to take it wide open 3. Long rebound to Beck.
Arkansas, of course, always running. All missed shots, they take off.
3 men underneath. Well, Williamson finds Beck 3.
Jackson in perfect position, and there's Juwan Howard beating his man down floor again.
In the paint, Howard, too strong.
He won't miss many of those, Jim. That's his favorite shot, that little 12-foot turnaround jumper. Now we see what Michigan's made the change. They have put Juwan Howard on Robinson, and they have Jackson trying to guard Williamson. Something that Arkansas is going to have to take advantage of. They don't want Howard to pick up his 3rd foul. Very nice defense by Stewart.
Rose cutting in. Gave it up at the last minute, and they say last touch by Arkansas. I think Howard may have had a glance off his fingertips. He was heading in the other direction.
Well, only 2 guys that have played with each other many times could go for that particular play. Jalen realizing Juwan can make that catch. Otherwise, too tough a pass.
He loves that shot, too, Billy.
That's 2 of them in a row.
Williamson, bodies around him.
Jim, too strong for Ray Jackson. He just overpowered him in there.
8-8.
And those 2 fouls on Juwan Howard are making it big. Steve Fisher had to change his lineup.
Rose has been wanting this one. And that's off the shot clock. Arkansas basketball.
Let's watch this matchup down at the other end. If Ray Jackson tries to take Williamson, he's given up about 2 inches and probably, what would you say, Jim, 60 pounds?
At least.
Yeah. SEC Player of the Year, a real force and very patient.
Swinging around to the other side. And they get it inside. Fife and Howard had a shot at denying that entry pass.
Freshman from California, becoming a major force in Nolan Richardson's plans here in the NCAA tournament.
Howard tipped up by Rose. Howard is getting the shots he wants. He's missed 3 in a row within 5 feet.
Give Robinson some credit, Jim. He's not chopping him. He's just staying right there with his hand up, kind of imitating the way Howard plays defense.
Williamson follows his own miss.
Ray Jackson is like a flea on his arm.
Rose, too high, they throw it away. Arkansas on a run right now.
Arkansas number 33, Lee Wilson. For Michigan number 3, Maktar N'Jon.
Jalen,
and number
9 unanswered.
Jalen has had a number of turnovers in the tournament. Remember last year, in his freshman year, his turnover assist ratio was about 1-to-1, which is not good. This year it's a little better, but he's trying to make too many good plays in this game.
All right, so N'Jai is in. Maktar N'Jai along with Olivier St. Jean. They come in for King and Howard.
And McDaniel in here for Arkansas exploded against Tulsa. 19 points in a little over 19 minutes.
Williamson too high for Thurman. That'll be a violation. Now the Wolverines will head to the bench. It's an official's timeout. Wolverines have missed their last 6 shots. Well, the Razorbacks missed their first 6 shots, but they've come back now to take the lead as Michigan now in a 6-shot dry spell. Almost 4 minutes having elapsed since the Wolverines last scored from the field. They'll have possession now. Again, they keep Howard and King on the bench with St. Jean and N'Jai in there substituting.
I like this move by Nolan Richardson. He goes 1-3-1 zone, changing things up on this new lineup, including 2 freshmen in there for Michigan, who certainly will have a tougher time adjusting than did the veterans.
Jackson, 5, set up perfectly, corner, too long.
So both coaches having to make changes early.
Wow, Thurman way outside for a 3-pointer and a 7-point lead now for the Razorbacks. Michigan with its biggest deficit of the whole tournament, 7 points. They had trailed Texas by 6 before coming back to win.
Jim, Jalen Rose is going to have to make himself very available for the ball now because he's got an inexperienced team out there with him.
St. Jean. Line through. Jackson tipped it but was held. Held by Scotty Thurman. And back comes Juwan Howard.
His first personal foul, team foul number 3.
You know, when you play Arkansas, you got 2 problems. That depth of quality players coming in is one thing, and also wearing down from a stamina standpoint. All 5 Michigan players average more minutes per game than any starter for Arkansas. You know, Arkansas leading starters, Thurman and Williamson with 28 minutes, but all 5 Michigan guys are over 29 and some at 30.
Jimmy King comes right back into the game and lets it slip through his hands. Beck.
Wolverines in serious trouble.
Yeah, they've given up 14 unanswered.
Really matching up out of this defense.
St. John.
Steve Fisher wanting to get Jalen Rose back in the game now, realizing that stamina is going to be a problem, giving guys 1-minute rest.
It's the second on Beck.
Alex Dillard for the Razorbacks.
And Alex Dillard, a long-range shooter himself. He made 12 threes in a game this year against Delaware State.
Olivia St. John.
St. John at the line to shoot 2. Jalen Rose waiting to check in for the shooter.
Well, Jim, you know, when we look ahead a little bit, and obviously much too early to talk about it, but this Michigan's club, we've got 2 teams, actually 3 teams in the Final Four. 2 of those clubs, Arizona and Duke, both beat Michigan this year.
Now the winner of this game will face Arizona on one side of the national semifinal brackets. Howard pump fake, blocked by Lee Wilson, who checked in, freshman. Dillard pull up 3. Well, they asked Nolan Richardson what kind of range does Dillard have. He says his range is when he gets in the gym. Fife off the glass. Tipped up by Howard. An in-drive basket interference.
You're right. I don't know how Steve Fisher can stop this onslaught. The game has started off at an Arkansas pace. Very difficult now to slow things down. Nolan Richardson going for the kill. There's a perfect replay of a ball in the cylinder touched by an offensive player, no basket.
DeVore Remots comes in for Thurman.
Does it make any difference? I mean, they're a deep team.
17-1 run here by Arkansas. Dillard again.
Did not take a 3 against Tulsa. Was very patient offensively, looked to make passes.
King gives it up, Howard, and 1.
There's their leader. Missed 3 straight little turnaround jumpers, which are his patented shot. Finally went to the basket.
With that basket, Juwan Howard just surpassed Bill Walton on the all-time tournament scoring list, moving into 15th place.
You know what's interesting on that, too? That would have been a good trivia question, Jim. Which guy is going to pass Walton? You'd never think of Juwan with Rose and Chris Webber getting all of that ink in the previous 2 years.
Over the back foul called against Njai. Jackson comes back in. In fact, Rose, if he had a 20-point game today, could also move past Bill Walton. He's looking to move past Bobby Hurley first, though, on that tournament scoring list.
Now, Howard is the #1 active scorer that's in college basketball right now.
Dillard can't find it the 3rd time. Push-off called against Michigan.
Well, let's put Dillard in perspective here. The young man is averaging 12 minutes a game. And with 12 minutes a game, he's averaging 9.2 points. So he explodes when he comes off that bench.
That last foul was against Jimmy King.
Got the numbers.
King behind the back, Howard slam dunk. Wow, that's vintage Fab 5 days.
Yeah, beautiful. Well under control.
Dillard. Well, after 2 quick ones, he's missed his last 2 trips.
And here you see a perfect 3-on-1 break behind the back. Juwan Howard running as usual, going both ends.
Scotty Furman comes in for Dillard.
Nolan going to take the talking to him. Nolan Richardson has great rapport with his players. Still in at 1-3-1.
Rose.
Body by Williamson, knocked him off stride right before the shot.
Rose has not scored. He's 0 for 3 from the field. And Arkansas leads by 10.
Jim, not only is he 0 for 3 from the floor, but he has not taken over the ball. And I think if Michigan's going to win, as I said at the top, that's what he would and will have to do. There's the double down.
Williamson cross court, sets up Thurman. He's deadly from here. Not this time. Last touch by Wilson.
Wilson and Robinson interchangeable. Both were out injured earlier this season, now getting back into shape. Gives Nolan 2 more players to put in his lineup. Wanting to double in the corner.
Another pass to Howard. They're feeding it inside to him. He's getting some opportunities. He now has 10 points.
Good slashing move. Jackson and Rose capable of doing that. Defense packing in a little bit more now, giving up the perimeter shot. Look for Scotty Thurman.
Probably go against Jackson here. Foul on Jackson. Michigan shooting 35%. The Hogs by 8.
His first personal foul, team foul number 6.
NCAA Basketball Championship on CBS.
So far in this game, Arkansas has made 4 3-pointers. Michigan, not a single one. Jim Nance with Billy Packer and Jim Gray from Reunion Arena. 3 teams are set for the Final Four. Final spot to be earned on this floor today.
But Jim, you pointed out that Michigan has been effective slashing the ball with dribble penetration and getting it down to Juwan Howard. Good play, because then they might be able to dump something out to fight for a 3. So far, Arkansas running on both ends of the floor very efficiently. And who would expect less from the nation's #1 team?
Robinson. Oh, we lost it going up, but they say Michigan reached in. This will go against King, his second.
And Jimmy better get back out on the floor. Officials have been pretty quick with a whistle in this game. Michigan can ill afford a technical foul.
They say a shooting situation, so Robinson, all-time high school scorer in California, to the line for 2.
Hey, you know, Jim, when you look at that record, 3,361 points. I mean, that's a record somebody's going to have to chase for a while.
Talking about his scoring, but against Georgetown last Sunday, along with the other freshman, Lee Wilson, they held Othella Harrington to 9 points and 3 rebounds.
Well, and they know, you know, they don't have to worry about foul trouble. They know they're never going to be tired because they're going to be able to interchange.
Against Jackson, his second.
Well, there was McDaniel holding his ground on the inside. Gray's got to understand he's penetrating against his own defense, and if you are, and you beat the initial man, there are going to be people waiting behind. Little high-low post.
Stewart. Long rebound to Fife. Michigan running. McDaniel tried to get the charge. Rose at the other end and one. So Rose on the board for the first time today.
Beautiful layup by Jalen, and shown he's got more strength than you think because he took Stewart with him. Watch this right here. Stewart's got a body on him. Jalen puts it right in and takes it up and scores. Excellent finish. There you can see that banging with Stewart. Weighs about 260.
Jalen, second-team All-America, along with Arkansas's Williamson. Only shooting 32% from the floor in the NCAAs.
Behind the back by the postman.
They say a travel.
Yeah, Corliss, that's not something that he needs to be doing in a game like this. He was so effective down in the low post. He's been stepping out a lot, letting Robinson handle the low post. And again, against the 1-3-1 matchup. Nobody on the foul line.
Rose. In and out, but Howard's there to lay it in. Arkansas led 23-9, and now Michigan on a 10-2 run to cut it to 6.
Excellent move by Juwan Howard, setting that back screen on Robinson in the 1-3-1. A lot of room.
Stewart right over Rose. Stolen by Williamson. Behind the back, Stewart now gives it over. Robinson misses the dunk and a technical for hanging on the rim.
Well, Robinson is going to say, and I think he's right in this case, Fife was underneath him. But there was something, the two big men, we talk about how agile and quick feet that Stewart has. Watch him put the ball behind his back against Jalen Rose, the soft dish, knocks over Fife. But, you know, I really think that Robinson had the right to hang on to that basket. You'll notice Fife was right underneath him. Didn't agree with that call.
Rose, who missed a moment ago at the line. Again.
Jim, big technical yesterday in the Purdue-Duke game. On the bench that turned things in Duke's favor. Once again, they went to that foul line so often as that Duke team does. Mike Krzyzewski now 7-0 in regional finals.
All right, Billy, now you'll see Fife underneath.
Now watch, he goes down. Fife is right underneath. See, there's a chance that Robinson could have fallen on him. He looks down, hangs on the rim. I think the officials made a mistake on that call. You have the right to protect yourself and certainly protect an opponent. It was almost a nice sportsmanship on Robinson's part.
King, three. Tipped up, Holler once, twice. And Arkansas basketball.
And you know, you think about this Michigan team, and probably all Michigan fans wonder, suppose we had Chris Webber in there. That'd probably be a little bit more of an even matchup. Because there's so many big bodies for Arkansas. Scotty Thurman hanging out, looking for a three.
Rose underneath, holding to Stewart. That's the... On Rose.
His second personal foul.
Jalen giving up 50 pounds inside, just can't get around Stewart. Same thing for Jackson when he plays against Robinson or Williamson.
Jim Burr gave a little lecture to Stewart. There might have been some jawing going on after that. Foul on Rose.
Good idea to stop that before it gets started.
1-and-1.
Jim, you see that number 31 on the jerseys of Arkansas. Something that you pointed out the other day about Roger Crawford. There's Burr again talking to all the players. Roger Crawford out for the year with that broken ankle.
He is a good official.
Yeah,
he's getting control of things right now before they get out of control.
I think he's better than good. I think he's a great official.
Robinson, an easy two.
Tough break for Jackson. Robinson stayed right with it.
And Michigan turns it right back over. Two really quick mistakes. Underneath on the free throw. Miss.
It looked to me like Jackson had the ball hit the rim and knock it out of his hand on that last play.
McDaniel, two-pointer.
Pretty tough shot. Daniel got much better looks against Tulsa when he came into the game.
Rose wildly again, throws it away.
3 turnovers in a row. I mentioned at the top, Michigan had turned the ball over 57 times in 3 NCAA tournament games coming in. And as Steve Fisher said at the top of the show, they cannot afford to be careless. And there they were, giving it up 3 straight times there.
They've already turned it over 9 times here.
Yep.
Olivier St. Jean replaces Fife. McDaniel, he was red hot on Friday, and he makes this one. He was 8 for 9 against Tulsa.
That's the kind of open shots he had to explode for those 19 points, his career best.
Three-pointer gives him a 13-point bulge.
Rose open.
Jackson cutting through, loses control of it. Still belongs to the Wolverines.
There is a timeout on the floor.
Arkansas's bench outscoring the Michigan bench 9-1. They lead by 13. Florida won the East today to head to the Final Four. It'll be Duke against Florida in one semifinal and Arizona against the winner of this game. That last basket by Clint McDaniel. Check out the Clintons. Thumbs up. Chelsea's been calling the Hogs during the timeout,
yeah,
Billy,
well,
but I haven't seen
no, wait a minute. I think it's okay for the daughter to do what she wants, but he's the president of the United States, and there are more electoral votes in Michigan than there is in Arkansas. You better be careful with that thumbs up. He went after that union vote in Detroit last time.
He won the state.
Yep. Well, a couple more thumbs up, and he'll be turning around.
Ray Jackson cuts into that lead. Williamson hammered by Jackson, and this for Jackson will be number 3.
Jim, I mentioned Williamson in the same breath with Charles Barkley in terms of that body, but you know, not as a player now, certainly, because Barkley has become one of the great players in the game's history. But Corliss Williamson right now in his career is what Charles Barkley became in terms of his body. I mean, he is really chiseled, powerful, in great shape. When Charles was at Auburn, he never was conditioned like this.
Corliss, before the Arkansas home games, likes to pump iron just an hour or so before the game gets started. Says it helps get him mad and pumped up.
Well, I don't want him.
So that's a new way of taking the floor.
Yeah, don't need him angry.
He broke his first backboard in the 8th grade. And on that note, the basket he's shooting at was replaced overnight because at the Michigan practice yesterday, Maktar Njai brought it down, broke the backboard.
And he's out on the floor now.
Njai, number 3, Wolverines trail by 11.
And they go man-to-man.
Howard heading to the line.
Well, I love what Nolan Richardson has done with this team. You know, he's not just counting on personnel to beat you. He switches defense. He uses multiple combinations. He makes the other coach match up against him. He's got his team in great condition physically.
2 on Stewart, 2 at the line for Howard. Elmer Martin coming in for Arkansas. 6'8" junior from Memphis, Tennessee. Arkansas and Michigan playing for the first time since the opener in the '82 season. And that happened to be the first game CBS Sports broadcast in college basketball.
It certainly was. Eddie Sutton, 2 different coaches at the time. Bill Frieder. Bill Frieder had an injured club down there, but they gave a good account of themselves. And Barnhill was hopping at the
3 on 2, make it 4 on 2. Look at Howard with the dipsy doodle, and I think Njai's done it again. Njai denied Michigan a basket with the tip in, the basket interference.
Jim, Juwan Howard, I thought, made a mistake on that play. He's got 2 fouls on him. He's leading the break, and he's in the middle. Now watch him right here. He should have given it up because here's where you could draw the cheap charge. He goes in the air. He was very lucky. You're right. Njai again, ball in the cylinder.
That's twice in the half. And Derricks will come in for Njai. I think they'll have a word with him about that. So Howard with...
Young man transferred from Wake Forest University, became immediately eligible at Michigan. Has not played a lot of basketball, so you can't fault him right now. He's very upset.
Howard still with the 2 personals. He had 2 in the first minute, 18 seconds. Has not picked up another one since.
And there again, Jim, just a lack of experience, the young man. He's a quality kid, but he really doesn't understand yet what's happening. You can just imagine not having had the background to be playing on this level of basketball.
Howard knocks them both down. He has 15, and the lead got up to 13 again. They brought it to 8. So twice they fought off huge leads, 14 and 13.
There's that high-low post. This time Williamson buried down in there with Juwan Howard, just holding him off.
McDaniel, 3-pointer, his second.
McDaniel, 3-point.
Dillard back out there, so they've got 2 guys can fill it up from the wings.
Jalen driving, soft floater. That seems to be there for Michigan.
Yeah, I think the dribble penetration through any of those matchups is what they're going to have to do. Dillard not bashful today, Jim. Taking some bad shots.
Well, he hit his first 2 and 0 for 3 since.
Here we see the zone.
St. John comes back to him. Now King on the good pass from Howard. Tipped up by Rose. Gets it back. Off of Martin.
Michigan's settling down a little bit offensively now. And I'm sure they're going to be looking forward to halftime coming because they have not been able to sit down as much as this Arkansas team, which is always totally fresh. Turnaround jumper.
Yep, little flip.
Said he doesn't miss many, but he gets down that low post. Half hook that time.
He's on his 30-point pace. He's got 17. Over 30. Martin. Shoot a couple. St. John pushed him with the body.
You see the good feet inside. Nice look one way, and there Jawan makes the good catch. Recognizes with the excellent footwork. Goes up with that half hook. Williamson doesn't get in time. Jawan on the way back down court. Terrific player. Jimmy talked about 30 points. Yesterday, the great Glenn Robinson stopped. I really enjoyed watching. I understand. I heard today that he was injured in that game. And prior to going in that game, he'll never make any excuses. He's a terrific competitor. But what I liked is what Duke did. They're one of the few teams in the country that have 2 men the size of Lang and Hill that could go ahead and work against the Glenn Robinson. And you notice how they forced him left on every single possession. And that took away part of his game. One of the reasons, I guess, that Mike Krzyzewski's going to another Final Four.
Well, you knew there was no way that Mike Krzyzewski was going to allow Glenn Robinson to put a 30 on it.
Well, he had, what, 13, his lowest output of the year.
McDaniel a little too close. Send Fife to the line.
His first personal foul. Team foul number 9. Duke at 5. 1-1.
Jim, speaking about Duke, do you realize that Grant Hill crew are now 17-1 in their careers in NCAA tournament play?
That's with Antonio Lang.
That's right.
Marty Clark.
Right. The only game they lost in their career in the NCAA was the game to California.
Injai returns.
Returns for Michigan.
For Howard. So Howard will be taken out not to pick up a cheapie here.
Good idea.
With a minute or 50 seconds to go in the half.
He got 2 in the first about 3 minutes of the game, so dodged the bullet.
More remarkable, though, is Coach K going to his 7th Final Four in 9 years in this era.
Nice.
McDaniel.
Beautiful.
Get it. You can't leave him open like that.
Well, you've got to put so much pressure on Dillard because you know what a shooter he is, and McDaniel was patient.
He's knocked down 3 of them. Michigan wants that final shot.
Jalen's got to come get the ball. He stays away from it too much in these occasions. See, he never touches it. Here he's got to get the ball.
Injai, the last guy you want.
I fault Rose on that, Jim. He's got to come and get the ball.
Howard has 17 of Michigan's 31. That's the end of the first half. The score, Arkansas 40 and Michigan 31. CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA basketball tournament will continue after this message and a word from your local station.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship Regional Final Game is sponsored by Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer. We are driving excitement. Delta Airlines, you'll love the way we fly. And by Hertz, for business, for pleasure, nobody does it exactly like Hertz. Quality.
Hi again, everybody. I'm Pat O'Brien. Welcome to our 60th Pennzoil at the half in this tournament. And our score at halftime, Arkansas leads Michigan 40-31. Earlier today, Florida advanced to the Final Four, beating Boston College 74-66.
Most of us tend to get caught up in widely held characterizations about teams that aren't necessarily the case. Now, let's get into that first. Rick, Arkansas, 40 minutes of held defense. That's the widely held perception, true or not?
Well, a little bit of brilliance on Nolan Richardson's part this year. You haven't seen any traps. You haven't seen any full court press. You haven't seen it throughout the tournament. They play superb half-court defense. They play superb zone defense. And then they get out in transition. All the teams practice for this 40 minutes of hell, and then they don't do it. They play more half-court defense, and they surprise you.
Michigan trailing by 9 at the half. It seems like they had the right idea in terms of doubling down on Arkansas, but couldn't quite execute it well.
Well, they couldn't execute it well because Arkansas is a very difficult team to double down in the low post on. You know, they have Corliss Williamson down there who's very effective, you know, offensively, and they have three-point shooters on the perimeter when the ball's kicked out. Rick, I don't know how you guys played against...
I don't think you can double down on Arkansas.
Yeah.
I think that's a mistake. Here's Corliss Williamson. You saw him have a great game in the low post, big presence inside, and now you watch him on the perimeter here against a smaller person, make a dribble move, reverse spin, little hook, get fouled, and go strong to the basket. This young man, now everybody's talking about him right now as being the SEC Player of the Year, but Corliss Williamson as a sophomore should have been given consideration for the National Player of the Year. He's that talented.
I agree with you. I think he is one of the top 5 players in the country.
Okay, let's look ahead to the second half. You talked about styles winning here. Michigan doesn't look as if it's able to keep up with the speed of Arkansas.
I think Michigan has got to slow down the pace somewhat, not let the three-point shooters of Arkansas come into play. I think they got to not double right away. They can double off the dribble, but not right away. You've got to take the three-point shooters out of Arkansas's game.
What wrinkle would you add if you're Michigan?
Well, I agree with Rick. I think they have to make the adjustment, not double. Michigan all year has been under tremendous emotional control. They hang in big games. If they can keep their head here, just chip away at the lead, you'll see a good ball game down the stretch.
They also need a better game in the second half from Jalen Rose, without a doubt. He's had to struggle in the first half.
I've joined the coach's corner here to thank both of you for joining us. It's been a great hang, actually, and I'm looking forward to beating you in golf and beating you in horse. Or actually, maybe it's better off beating you in horse and beating you in golf.
We appreciate having us, but we both hope we're not here next year.
Pat talking about a hang. Is that hang time?
Nice to see you guys. Thank you. All right. Second half is coming up here as Michigan tries to overcome that Arkansas press, and we'll be back with that after this. Stay with us. Bill Clinton coming up with Jim Nantz, too.
Pennzoil at the half was sponsored by Pennzoil, the motor oil you can rely on for performance, protection, and quality.
Arkansas leads at halftime, 40-31. And we'll continue on the road to the Final Four on CBS in just a moment. We're back at Reunion Arena with Arkansas's #1 fan, President Bill Clinton. Looks like you're having a great time. What do you think of the game so far?
Great game, and our kids are playing well, but Michigan is playing a terrific game. You know, they've done a great job defending our big guys in the middle, and we've had the three-point shot, so we're a little ahead, but this is a good game.
We saw you really excited after some Arkansas baskets, but we also want to show you a couple other times when it didn't go so well for the Hogs, and here's how you reacted. Tell us about it.
That's missing a layup. We missed about 5 layups there, you know, 4 in the beginning.
And a little more coaching here, Mr. President.
We missed another layup.
Well, Chelsea's been calling the Hogs a few times. I haven't seen you up and doing that quite yet.
I haven't done it. I'll get into it as we go along. I really get into the game. I'm impressed, though, with it. It's a good basketball game.
You're going to talk to both teams after the game, I understand?
I'd like to do that.
What are you going to tell them?
That they've got a lot to be proud of. Both these teams have got a lot to be proud of. And this Michigan team, of course, has these 4 guys that have been to the last game twice. Without an enormous amount of depth, they are playing incredible defense, and they're doing very well. So we'll just see. I hope we win, but it's going to be a tight game.
How much have you been able to watch the Razorbacks so far in the tournament up until today?
I've watched all the games. I watch them all, and I've watched a lot of the other games, too.
Did you have any words for Nolan Richardson? Have you had a chance to send a little tip into the team?
No,
he doesn't need it.
I'm trying to learn about basketball from him, not the other way around. I just sit and watch and learn.
All right, if Arkansas holds on and wins this game, are you going to Charlotte? You going to go with them?
Oh, yes, I'll go.
Both semifinals and possibly championship game, too?
We've tried to work it out so that I can go to both games. I'm going to try.
All right, enjoy the second half. Thanks for joining us, President Clinton. Let's go back over to Billy Packer.
Thanks a lot, Jim. Looked like you have a new partner there, and I think maybe we swap jobs. I'll try to be the president for a couple of days. How would that be? We turn this thing upside down. All right, a shot chart. And look at what's happening for Michigan. 2 for 16 from the backcourt. The only 2 they made were inside. They have not hit a three-point shot. First time in the tournament they've gone a half without a three-point shot. That's the key to the game. So much is happening down inside. They have got to go ahead and get something going on the perimeter, particularly with Jalen Rose coming to the ball. And there you can see the halftime stats. Arkansas, 2-point range, and then the 3-point range, 7 for 12 is outstanding. This club, whenever they hit outside, they're so tough because their inside scoring is so strong. Front court, Michigan, you can see Juwan Howard having an excellent game despite picking up 2 fouls early on. Bench scoring, and what would you expect? Arkansas has got the best bench in the United States. They use it so liberally. And here you have McDaniel, one of the bench guys, coming off with 9. Juwan Howard, a real strong 17 points in the first half, doing it as usual on both ends and on target to continue his tremendous pace in the NCAA tournament. Now let's throw it over to Jim Gray, our buddy, for a halftime report. Jim?
All right, thank you, Jim. Michigan coach Steve Fisher very upset, uncharacteristically very upset at halftime. Doesn't feel his team is moving the ball around very well at all. They're not playing a good transition defense, and most importantly, he said, we're just taking god-awful shots. He said our shot selection has to be much better. We've shot ourselves out of the game. We're going to have to try and shoot ourselves back into it here in the second half. Jim?
All right, thank you, Jim Gray. So now I go from Billy Clinton to Billy Packer.
Oh, boy. I'm going to back off here. People are going to start getting the idea maybe I've got a little Republican bent in me. Huh? What do you think? Think a little conservative from North Carolina?
I've had too many dinners with you to know. I can't get into it.
Okay.
Not now.
Okay. Well, he is having a good time.
He didn't want me to tell you that if you come down with a sudden case of laryngitis, he's ready to go.
I think actions speak louder than words. He gave Michigan credit verbally, but he's rooting for the Hogs.
Howard clobbered on the way up. It's going to be against Thurman.
I just can't get over how smart a player Juwan Howard is. And the fact that you pick up 2 fouls so quickly, you're asked to do so much both off the boards defensively and on the offensive end. And here he is, still 2 fouls is all he's got. He's going for his 18th point right here.
Look at those numbers.
Terrific. And Jim, he's done it every game in the tournament. It hasn't just been one good game. I mean, he's going 34 Texas, 24 Maryland, 28 Pepperdine. So he's done it every night.
Thurman, and there's the rebound by Howard. Now Michigan out with a flurry here.
Very important that they get some easy shots or some good-looking shots percentage-wise going to start this second half.
Jimmy King did not score in the first half. Gives it up to Jackson. And a push off on McDaniel. His second. Earlier today, Florida made it to the Final Four, Billy.
First time ever for either one of those schools having an opportunity. Of Florida, Lon Kruger doing an incredible job. That team is so tough defensively.
Robinson in for Thurman. I'm sorry, Billy.
Well, I think, again, Jim, with that club, the parts put together are so strong. You know, you break the team down individually, they can be handled. But as a unit, they're really tough.
Jimmy King still can't get started in the point column. That'll be a matchup, Duke, Florida, Coach K against Coach K.
Right. Of course, Arkansas played that Florida club, beat them. Florida stayed with them, played at Arkansas. High-low post.
Robinson. Good move.
Steve Fisher's got a real problem here because Jackson is asked to guard one of the 2 big men. He can't handle Williamson. Robinson just too big for him as well.
Pull-up jumper. And little McDaniel with the rebound among the trees.
McDaniel and Corey Beck doing a great job blocking out down low that time.
Stewart, there it is.
Great touch. It's his 35th 3 on the year.
Oh, and they call it on King. That's going to be his 3rd. Stewart with such a relaxed motion on the three-pointer.
You're right, Jim. There's Jimmy King pushing off with the lead arm. McDaniel feeling the contact and then acting a good job. Gets the call. King's got to sit down. He was in foul trouble the other night, too, against in that Maryland ball game.
St. Jean, the freshman and Frenchman, comes in to replace him. Michigan had it down to 7 with possession, but Arkansas has upped it back to 12 now.
There's that strength. Got it ripped, and that was Juwan Howard that got a piece of the ball.
Howard backing in on Robinson.
See, Juwan doesn't push with his arms. He moves his feet all the time. That's why he's so difficult to handle. Watch his footwork in here. Nice, strong base. He's moving those feet. Terrific work on the inside.
Michigan all-time in a regional final 6-1. The only time they lost was to UNC Charlotte back in 1977. And Fife called for traveling.
Cornbread Maxwell squad that moved on to the Final Four. And our partner Al McGuire eliminated them.
In a wild one.
Oh, yeah. Long throw at the end. Jerome Whitehead tap in, controversial call. Look at how they have to respect Stewart's range.
How about McDaniel? Oh, almost got it coming down. Tipped in. Tipped in by Robinson. He has 10.
St. John has got to block out as opposed to going for the ball because Robinson's got 3 inches on him.
Howard just knows how to get that position.
He's taking Robinson to school down there, isn't he? In that whole post.
Really, he gets it when he wants it. At the other end, St. John scoops it up ahead to Rose. And it's up to 2 Hogs chasing it.
Jalen put that ball, protected it. So the defender ran by. Jackson just trying to use his upper thighs to hold Robinson off.
Oh, wide open again. McDaniel is so good from outside, but not that time. St. John, 3-pointer.
First one of the game for Michigan.
It was 14, but now 7 unanswered by the Wolverines. First 3 out of 6 attempts.
There's the doubling down by Michigan. They're doing a job on Williamson.
St. John gives him some good minutes off the bench. Got the rebound. Now they call a foul against Jackson. Beck, for the second time in this game, draws the charge. He might be the best in college basketball at that. Timeout on the court.
Of the NCAA Basketball Championship Regional Final Game is sponsored by Chevrolet. Depend on genuine Chevrolet. Pennzoil for performance, protection, and quality. And by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for crisp, clean, classic taste.
Here's the foul on Jackson. And watch Beck get his position, Billy.
Well, what Beck did so well there, Jim, is he used the court to help him. Once Jackson crossed half court, he knew he couldn't go backwards because he would have been in a backcourt situation. Jackson had to stay on the floor and keep in control with a jump stop. Beck used it perfectly. Juwan Howard on a step out, doesn't make the pass available to Williamson. He's fun to watch, that Juwan Howard. There he is again. See, he just won't let him handle the ball. There he is again. Great defense.
Fife came in and helped out, got a hand on it, tipped it away.
That was Howard's position defense that made that available. He wouldn't let the passing angle get in there.
Michigan's been able to hover around this area, but they can't seem to penetrate it. That's a walk. He can't seem to get it under 6 or 7.
I think St. John there, Jim, twisted an ankle or a knee, and it took away his ability to get in the air. He's grimacing right now, but looks like he's going to walk it off. That was against that 2-3 matchup of Arkansas's. Notice how the game is getting slower. It's getting to be a half-court game as opposed to a run-shoot game, and that's not what Nolan Richardson wants.
St. John blocked it. A couple of Michigan players released, but they got held up in the backcourt with the ball.
Penetrating and dishing through that zone is Michigan.
Underneath, good pass, back again. Jackson misses. Got it blocked, back again. Ray Jackson, the Texan, brings the Wolverines within 5.
I think if you're Nolan Richardson, you're going to want to force tempo a little bit more, change that lineup. He's going to come back with Scotty Thurman. He's got to turn this more into a run and execute game, as he calls it. They're playing half court now.
Robinson, a little Juwan Howard move.
He's going to be a good one. Young man visited only one school. We talked about that on Friday. There's that 2-3 matchup zone. Michigan getting used to it now.
Dalen, three-pointer. Second time he's had it bounce right over the top of the backboard.
Scotty Thurman.
Njai comes in for Michigan. Scotty Thurman for Arkansas.
Jackson just has to be so tired leaning on those big bodies. Smart move by Steve Fisher to give him a rest. We talked about Mike Krzyzewski, and Steve Fisher right now is the best of active coaches winning percentage in the NCAA tournament. Ahead of Mike, who's number 2.
Thurman.
Smooth, isn't he?
Twice all SEC.
Yep. Set new records in three-point shooting at Arkansas, but that time he little penetrate. Always under control.
Dangerous pass, but Howard finds it, and that's goaltending.
That one is basket interference. The ball is
all the way through
it is. It is. Again, you'll see the ball did not clear the net, but Stewart goes up underneath and knocks it back out.
Jimmy King back in. At some point, Billy, they need to get King going.
They need to keep him out of foul trouble. That's the first thing.
In jive, right over the back. Near the conclusion of this game, Billy and I will be selecting a Chevrolet player of the game from each team. Chevrolet donates a $1,000 scholarship to the General Scholarship Fund of both schools.
Nice catch.
Williamson. Njai. Fought hard for it. Good rebound.
A very good rebound. It's all you're looking for from a guy coming off the bench like that. It's a couple of key minutes.
Howard. Njai. Ooh, almost made the follow-up. Fight gets it back to him, and they'll reset. King.
Oh, nice catch.
Njai picked off. Telegraphed it. Here comes a 2-on-1. Make it a 3-on-1. Thurman finishes it off.
Outstanding play by Corey Beck. Avoided drawing the charge. Jim, you talked about how effective he is at getting the charge on defense. There he avoided it on offense.
Fight. That went down for a moment and rattled out. And a foul called against Arkansas. Howard excited about that whistle.
I think it's Stewart pushing Juwan Howard in the back.
Dwight Stewart, his third personal foul. Team foul.
Number 3 on Stewart, Billy.
You know, Jim, Michigan fighting for a berth to the Final Four here in basketball also today. It is a very unusual situation. They're fighting for the Final Four in hockey as well. Michigan, the #1 overall program in college sports this past year. Just a great overall athletic program. Arkansas came in 4th, so with their great track program, they're right up there too.
Last touched by Jimmy King.
And although this is not a home court, and Jim, you've pointed out many times how successful they are, it is a home crowd, similar to what Florida had down in Miami. And it does help. Michigan stayed in that tight man-to-man all day.
Dillard thought about it. Thurman won't think twice.
Beautiful pump fake.
2-point basket, 11-point lead. Rose hanging out on the baseline.
Jimmy King open.
King, three-pointer. First of the day.
Jimmy King.
That's a nice move by Jimmy King to foul Jalen out from behind so that the zone couldn't react.
Lob. Almost went in with the pass.
Dillard was right on the money on Friday with 2 lobs. That one was a little long.
King driving. Back-to-back hoops for Jimmy King. Maybe this building is big enough for a president and a king.
Oh, Jimmy, he stayed up late with that one.
There he is at the other end. Five.
Maybe a little quick, huh?
6-point Arkansas lead. They hit the trailer. Thurman fires. Bingo.
3-point.
That will break your back. You make a tremendous run. And I thought that Fife threw up his 3 a little early, and that opened up the open court for Arkansas.
Ray Jackson returns for Michigan.
9-point Arkansas lead. Timeout on the floor.
Here's a case where Michigan attacked the zone perfectly. Jalen Rose is going to dribble out. Now watch Jimmy King circle behind him. The zone packs back in the inside. Then the ball comes back on a reverse, gives Jimmy King the 3, open shot. Excellent maneuver by Michigan. The zone maneuvers. King comes in behind, takes the 3 wide open and hits it.
Jimmy King had a big couple of minutes there, rebounding and scoring.
Arkansas goes back to the 1-3-1 zone. You can count on Nolan Richardson changing defenses after every timeout.
Jackson hits. 7-point Arkansas lead. McDaniel, 3.
Ooh, that was a dangerous pass.
McDaniel tried to get the charge. Touched by Robinson last. We're halfway through the second half. Arkansas led by 9 at the intermission. The lead is now 7. Added up to 14 at one point in this half.
Fife has been open.
Almost launched it.
Yep. Cross-court pass was there earlier.
Juwan into paint.
You know, he almost, Jim, had gone up so high that time that he didn't have anything left on the shot. Just used that little wrist flip of his.
He has 25 of Michigan's 53. And a timeout called by Arkansas.
NCAA Basketball Championship on CBS.
Arkansas 50% from three-point land. Billy, you mentioned on Friday when they lost 3 times this season, their three-point average was way down, their percentage.
Right, it was 26% in the 3 losses, so obviously a critical part of their offense. That's not been a problem today.
Richardson took the timeout as soon as Michigan trimmed it to 5.
Let's see what defense he goes into when he gets that ball back. What Michigan has done a good job here in the second half is turned it into a half-court game. Not what Arkansas likes.
Robinson way off. They just barely beat the shot clock.
Well, Jimmy King seems tentative, doesn't he, Jim, compared to where he was a year ago. When he'd get that ball and explode to the basket.
Well, they need him if they're going to make the final run here at Arkansas, and he's helped cut that 14-point lead to 5, which he's gotten on track here in the last few minutes. Jackson. Ooh, that was in and out. There's King keeping it alive and a good save.
And a good block out.
5. In and out. Thurman with the rebound. This is as close as Michigan has been since 12.5 minutes to go in the first half.
That could have been huge for Michigan.
Right off the hands of McDaniel. Concentration error that time.
the SEC puts a team in, trying to get 2 teams into the Final Four now.
Already two seeds and a 3 have made it to Charlotte. Here it's a 1 against a 3.
Jim, I'll throw a stat out to you. Of the 8 conferences that put 3 or more teams in, it will turn out in this tournament that they've won 56 of the 63 games.
Big move by Fife, and it's down to 3.
Fife having another big game, coming off his tremendous performance against Maryland.
And that time he tried to pull the trick on Beck, but they call it on Fife. His first.
Fife against Maryland was 3 for 7. He had 12 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and played all 40 minutes of that game. There's a drive using the left hand. His dad, a former Michigan player under Johnny Orr.
Later an assistant coach for the Wolverines, and then Fife's own coach in high school, Clarkston, Michigan, coached by his dad.
You know, most people felt Bobby Crawford would be that starter, that 5th starter for this Michigan team this year. Fife got the job, and he's held it.
Thurman way out there.
Wow.
3 points.
The all-time seasonal leader in 3s for Arkansas shows why. Broke Todd Day's records.
Jalen hacked on the way in.
Both Jalen and Jimmy King, when they match up with Stewart, ought to put that ball on the floor every time and just penetrate by him. And not Stewart, not quick enough to stay with him.
It's the 3rd on McDaniel. You can see tournament percentage only 30%, 25% today. Shoot a couple. His free throw shooting today has been a miss as well. 1 out of 4. 7:34 remaining here. Arkansas leading by 6.
Michigan was only 19 for 31 against Maryland from the line. That's how Maryland was able to make that comeback the other night.
They missed 7 of their last 8 in that game against Maryland.
Nice help by Jackson.
Stewart.
There's the double team by Fife. McDaniel wide open over here. Nobody can find him.
Jackson takes it away from him, and Stewart commits the foul.
Players are going to have to make that pass instinctively instead of looking to find somebody. If a man double teams from the opposite side, the place to throw the ball is opposite from where the defender came.
That is number 4 on Dwight Stewart.
I mean, this Michigan doubling down is not as sophisticated as what the NBA does, so players ought to react to it. The NBA doubles down from all different kinds of positions.
Down low, Rose. And I'll tell you, Thurman, he stood his ground, and Rose had it slip away as he tried to make his move.
Principle of verticality there. Jimmy held his hand straight up. The official called it promptly, and the fact that the defender has the right to that area.
Michigan turning it over for the 16th time. Thurman again way out there.
You know, one of the things that's been cut off, Williamson has not touched that ball much, Jim. He's only got 7 shots today.
Haven't called his name.
Right.
Second half. Rose off the glass.
Protected the ball, and again, we got to point out, it's become a half-court game.
Beck, we're going to call Rose outside, reaching in. For Rose, that'll be number 3.
Probably a good foul for Michigan because Corey Beck had an easy layup.
Let's talk now, Billy, with 6:21 to go, about tournament experience the rest of the way and what a difference that could make.
Well, the only experience Michigan's had, they've been in 2 tournaments, these basic kids, and they made it to the final game every time. So
maybe it's the effect on Arkansas, though. The intangible that could make the difference. Howard to the line for 2. You're seeing a definite momentum swing here.
And that swing is because Nolan Richardson has not been able to get his team in a full-court game in the second half. You wonder if he would want to press full court a little bit, just to turn it into a little bit of a wild game. Stewart out.
That's it, Billy. Number 5 for him.
Let's think about something. He fouls out, and to my knowledge, Howard still has 2 fouls on him.
That's all. Howard has the 2 that he picked up in a little more than a minute.
Right.
A minute into the game, that is.
Yeah. All Big Ten performer.
He's gone all but 2 minutes today. One more, a chance to bring him within 2. Alex Dillard returns in for McDaniel. Dillard, a 25-year-old freshman.
Junior college guy who, you know, I'm reading reports about recruitment, and people talked about him being a real sleeper coming into the ranks, and what he was looking for was Nolan Richardson as somebody that could light it up from the outside, and that's what Dillard's given him this year.
2-point game, 6 minutes remaining.
There's Williamson.
Williamson powers his way for a bucket. Back up to 4.
He is now passed. He's got his 71 shots in the NCAA tournament, so he is now the all-time percentage leader in NCAA tournament play. Right over 70%, topping Bill Walton. Of course, there are more games, hopefully, for Williamson to play, including this one.
Howard banks it home this time. He's up to 28.
They're staying right with Dillard. No matter how far out he goes, Jimmy King is staying with him.
Williamson kicks it back out.
Good D.
Watch the shot clock. Stripped by Fife.
They got the break.
Michigan can tie it. Rose. Going the other way. Called on King.
A smart play by Dillard. Overmatched by Jalen Rose, giving up a lot of size, and he just faked him out with his footwork.
It's number 4 on Jimmy King.
He just threw Jalen off balance with terrific footwork on defense.
Michigan has called a timeout.
Watch Dillard here. Watch him fake him. He keeps moving his feet, fakes him out, and then gets out of the way. Terrific job on defense.
Michigan timeout. Trail by 2. Well, the 2 starting Texans for Michigan have 4 fouls. Stewart already out for Arkansas. Hawk basketball. 2-point lead, under 5 to go.
See, Robinson can't find a man opposite. It was McDaniel wide open, and he powers through. Here's a good move by Nolan Richardson, Jim, picking up full court, but then he doesn't stay with it. Try to force this game to move in a little better tempo. 2-3 zone. It's like Steve Fisher interested in keeping this game at a nice slow pace.
A shocking three-pointer from 25 feet.
Yep. Not the shot they want, particularly a guy that's worked this hard. He's got to be a little tired. And he's wondering why he took it himself. You can see his, kind of like talking to himself, moving back on defense.
Robinson gets his own rebound. Back up again. Williamson with position. There he is. Corliss Williamson.
So strong, Jim, with that right arm. He just held Juwan Howard off.
He got it up to 6. Michigan had a chance to tie on the fast break. Rose missed. Now they'll try to cut into that lead with 3 minutes to go. Jackson takes the open baseliner down to 4.
Ray Jackson.
Nice patience by Steve Fisher's team.
Williamson. They come right out of the timeout and get it inside to Robinson. Then 2 times, Williamson scores inside. Inside, Howard was held.
It's on Williamson in the back, Jim. Juwan again getting that position with good footwork.
Team foul number 8. Juwan Howard.
Most post players don't make themselves available the way Howard does, and that's why they don't touch it as much as he does. And his chance for another 30-point game.
Coming right here, Billy.
Yep.
The opportunity. He has 28. So 1-1.
Young man who, raised by his grandmother, passed away the day after he signed with Michigan.
The first of the Fab Five to sign.
Right, the guy that
with
started.
Michigan.
Right, the guy that started the movement for that great recruiting class.
69-65 with 2:18 remaining. King has fouled out.
And what made that play, Jim, is Corliss Williamson realizing the double team was coming from the opposite side, immediately threw opposite. King couldn't respond.
You say this is a hometown crowd for Arkansas. This is a hometown game for King. His family in the stands. He's from the Dallas suburb of Plano. Another Dallas player headed to Michigan, Maceo Baston, was signed early season, hotly recruited high school player. And here's some instructions being passed along to St. Jean, who will come in for him.
Olivia St. John returns.
You know, Jim, you were talking about that recruiting class. I'll never forget the first Final Four of the Fab Five, and the question from a reporter in one of the press conferences when he asked, which one of you guys will go pro first? Remember, Ray Jackson said, I think it'll be Jalen. And Jalen was very upset by that comment. Really the first crack I had ever seen in their armor.
1-1 for Beck. And Rose didn't like that at all.
No,
He stepped off the podium, and he let him know it.
And it wasn't a very good prognostication, because it turned out to be Chris Webber was the first to go.
And they all made a vow on that same stage that they would go to 4 Final Fours in their career. Beck with 2 big ones.
Interesting how Arkansas lets you dribble penetrate into their teeth of their zone, and then they really play tough.
They need Rose now. Rose, 3-pointer, short. McDaniel has it for Arkansas. Under 2 minutes to play for the final berth at the Final Four.
And they're spreading it out. Nolan Richardson wants them to go a little 4 corners. Solid floor game by Corey Beck on both ends today.
Beck dumps it inside. Freshman Robinson, too strong. 1:15 to go. Jackson almost put up the 3. Timeout, though, called by Michigan. They have only 1 remaining.
Michigan.
Jim Nance, Billy Packer, Jim Gray. 1:09 remaining. Michigan basketball. Billy, you said Jalen Rose needs to have a big game. He's 4 for 15 from the field, only 10 points.
If you'd have told me those were going to be his stats before the game, I'd say Michigan would have no chance, but they're still in it.
And there he is.
That is their 3rd 3-pointer of the day, 3 for 14, and they're still in the game. This becomes a game of arithmetic now. Down 3, they got to look for a possession. McDaniel better watch himself. He was back court.
Well, an official timeout.
Somebody cut?
Might be Howard.
See some blood? Oh, boy, what a tough time to lose.
Wow.
Howard, now, if you're Steve Fisher, you might almost call a timeout. He's going to take his pants off right here on the court. You can see it. Now,
you know, they've worn him so loose, they've always looked like they were only one good tug away from dropping to the floor anyway.
You know, I'll tell you a good pants story. We got the president here today, you know, and Nolan Richardson was so embarrassed at the way the president looked when he jogged that the president came to see them play earlier this year, and he said, you know, let us put you in a pair of real pants, which they have, and I understand the president, although he wears the sweatshirt, is not interested in any of these long jogging pants.
Here he is mooning the president.
Oh, come on.
Oh, okay, all right.
But, well, you know, you can see what the priority that Juwan has in his game. He wants to win. Now the referee's got a problem, and the fact that they're going to allow Juwan to come right back in is now we've got everybody changing pants. Trying to hide him down here.
This is wild.
Well, you know, Nolan Richardson says 40 minutes of hell. Now, Maktar Njai comes in. Now, Juwan will have to go. Juwan Howard will have to come up and get right back in his game, but the clock has got to tick before Steve Fisher can get him back in.
So much for the pants gate controversy.
Well, I think what happened is Njai put Howard's pants on and they had blood, so he had to change with somebody else.
That's exactly what it was, Billy.
Yep.
41 seconds. Arkansas leading by 3. And a reach in by St. John. So they put a freshman on the line. And it will be a 1-and-1 for Robinson, who is only a 56% shooter at the line. Howard right back in. So they foul the right man. Robinson 2 for 2 today.
Darnell Robinson 1-and-1.
And Jim, again, looking up at the clock, you're down 3. You know, if he makes one of these, you're down 4. You need 2 possessions, so think a 2-point shot quickly. If he doesn't make any of these, think 3.
1-and-1.
Too strong. Okay, you got to think 3 now.
Well, if you're thinking 3, you're probably thinking Rhodes.
And you can see that that's what Arkansas expects, so they come out to man-to-man.
Here it is for the lead.
Back up.
Thurman with the rebound. Rose reaches in. Thurman to the line for a 1-and-1. 17 seconds to go.
Now that was worth the try. Get this game in a tie situation. Didn't have to take a bad 3, though, Jim. There was still plenty of time.
Scotty Thurman at the line.
That man takes his team ranked #1, potentially to the Final Four. Only one #1 team has won the championship in recent years, and that was Duke in '92.
That puts him up 4. 17 seconds to go. Thurman with 13 in this half.
Got to try to get a quick 2 for Michigan.
He's stroking it. Timeout called by Arkansas. There's the senior, Roger Crawford, broke his ankle in the Georgetown game. He's pumped, and so are the Hogs, up by 5. Nolan Richardson brought in Ray Biggers during that timeout, 6'8" junior from Houston.
Better passer, a little quicker, Jim.
17 seconds. Rose driving, gives it up corner. That's a 2-pointer. St. John misses. Rebound, Arkansas. McDaniel.
And the next
will shoot a couple.
Yeah, he's going to shoot 2 now. There, Juwan, even though he's the ultimate competitor, still cares for the guys he plays against. Got a lot of respect for that young man.
That's for Howard. The first foul he's picked up since a minute 18 into this game.
And now everything pointing against Michigan. The arrows pointing in the wrong direction. The scoreboard the wrong direction, and 2 shots from here on out.
That still gives him a fighting chance. Not a little chance, maybe. More like it. 9.7 seconds. Bobby Crawford in.
Now, Jim, the SEC sticks 2 teams in the Final Four. Florida, that really hasn't gotten the respect around the country, I guess, up to this weekend. And Arkansas, that was voted #1 most of the year.
Timeout, Richardson and Arkansas.
Timeout, Arkansas.
Arkansas has used its last. Leading by 6. Roger Crawford, they have his number 31 on their uniforms in his honor. Ready to celebrate. Howard to the corner. Rose, 3-pointer short. Rebound, Arkansas. Arkansas is going back to the Final Four. They went to the Final Four in 1990 out of Dallas. They went through Reunion Arena. And they'll do it once more.
3 SWC championships here. 2 now regional championships here. It's been a great home for Arkansas and Nolan Richardson.
13 straight wins in this building.
Well, they're a tough team to play against. They've got so many weapons. They've got great balance of size and quickness in the backcourt. Play a lot of different defenses. Have excellent teamwork and comradeship on their club. It'll be a real test for Arizona.
Here's the final entry into the Final Four, the Arkansas Razorbacks. So here are the brackets for Charlotte, North Carolina. Duke in Florida in one semifinal, and Arizona against Arkansas. A 1, 2 twos, and a 3. President Clinton shaking hands with Steve Fisher. He hopes to head to both locker rooms to visit with the teams. Chevrolet players of the game are Juwan Howard, 30 points, 13 rebounds for Michigan. Scotty Thurman for Arkansas. He had 20, including 14 in the second half. So for Billy Packer and Jim Gray, I'm Jim Nance saying so long from Reunion Arena, where Arkansas has won it 76-68. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports, home of the NCAA Basketball Championship.